Okay, today we are going to start the new topic or a new life process, that is your respiration. Okay, so let's first deal with this respiratory system. Okay, now if you look at this respiratory system, yeah, first of all, see, you have read in class 9th about how lower organisms their respiration takes place. If you remember amoeba, it's a single-celled organism, and there is simple exchange of gases by the process of diffusion, isn't it? Now, as organisms become complex, this exchange in gases in them, it becomes what? It cannot take place by simple by means of diffusion. Although the ultimate process is diffusion, where ultimately exchange will take place, will happen by the process of diffusion. But a complex process, a mechanism has been developed for exchange of gases. There are organs which are involved in its function. Okay, so what do we find? An example, like it can be asked, why humans need respiratory system? Because your entire skin cannot work as a respiratory system, because it won't be able, because it's multi-layered, and for diffusion to happen, that surface has to be thin, and since it is multi-layered, so diffusion cannot happen. If it takes also, then it will take a long time, so it cannot meet the requirement of the body. Therefore, multicellular organisms, they have developed this respiratory system. And if the question is posed, why humans need? Because humans need constantly oxygen, okay, and there has to be an oxygen supply, and also there has to be a constant removal of carbon dioxide from the human body. Because of metabolic activities, lot of oxygen is being taken away, used by the body, and carbon dioxide is being produced, which needs to be removed from the body, isn't it? So now let's see the respiratory system today first. Okay, now if you look at the human respiratory system, okay, now here let's see first the parts of it, and then the technicality of it we will deal. Now if you see, this is your nose, fine. Now this is your mouth, fine. Now there is a common passage I have told you, which is called as what? Pharynx. And this is a common passage for your both food and air. Okay, now then comes, now here I have clearly tried to show you the bifurcation. See, this is the mouth, and food will come via this, isn't it? If I draw, this is your food, then the food goes, and what happened? This is your what is this? This is your cartilaginous flap-like structure, which we called as what? Epiglottis. And what is glottis? Try to understand. It's an opening of your larynx. What is your larynx? Larynx is your voice box. See, remember, apart from respiration, your respiratory system is used in producing what? Voice, isn't it? Whatever voice we produce, it is because of this respiratory system, and it is because of these larynx. So they have an opening. This opening is called as what? Glottis. And this flap-like structure, when food comes, what happens? It covers this glottis. And what it does? It will come like this. Okay, and food will come from there. It will move directly to your esophagus. See, this part is your what? Esophagus. I have drawn for you. So what is happening? Trachea is in the front, okay, and your esophagus is at the back of it. So esophagus is dorsally to your this trachea, isn't it? Now what do you find? That now a simple experiment also you can do, like just swallow, gallop something. What do you find? What do you notice at that time? When you gallop something or when you gallop your food, what is happening? At that moment, no breathing is happening. You are not exchanging gas at that time. Neither inspiration nor expiration is happening. Isn't it? So these are simple things. So during that time, what is happening? This is coming and this food is going from here to your esophagus. Now let's look into it. This is your what? This entire structure is your trachea, and you can see it has got ring-like structures which we call as cartilaginous rings. And do you think these rings are internally or externally present in the trachea? Where are they present? Internally or externally? Think over it. We can come over that question later part also. Then what happens? This trachea, it comes down, this pipe comes down and it bifurcates into two, and they are called as what? Bronchi. Okay, and they enter into your lungs. Okay, now you know that your lungs is well protected by your what? Your rib cage, isn't it? By your ribs. So your ribs, they are attached at the back by your vertebral column, and in the front, here you will find that there is a bone which we call as sternum, okay, by which your ribs are attached, and your lungs is well protected in that rib cage, and your muscles are also attached to your ribs, which helps in the movement of your lungs. Okay, now if you look at your lungs, it has got a membranous structure which we call as pleura. Need not to know too much at this time right now. And your bronchi is further divided into smaller tubes which are called as bronchioles, and ultimately they end up into a sac-like structure which we call as alveoli or air sacs, where ultimately your exchange of gases will take place. Okay, and what do you find? That these organs are what? They are richly supplied by your blood. Fine. Okay, now what do you think? Have you thought over it? Whether the trachea has got these rings internally or externally? See, if I have to keep this pipe open, what do you feel? I should have rings inside it, okay, so that these membranes do not collapse. Okay, so that they do not collapse, so that air is always constantly moving in and out of it. Fine. And now you can see here, this is one of the major structure in your lungs which is called as what? This is your diaphragm. Okay, and it's a muscular structure. Okay, now what happens when you breathe? When you breathe, so this is the normal condition I have shown you. Okay, so when you breathe, just try to focus on your lungs. When you breathe, what is happening? Just notice yourself. Your chest is moving upwards and outwards, isn't it? And what is happening? Your diaphragm, look at it, your diaphragm is moving down. So as a result, what is happening? Your lung volume is increasing. Okay, your lung volume is increasing. Volume is increasing, and what is happening? Your pressure in lungs is decreasing. As a result, outside pressure is high, so air is moving inside your lungs. When you exhale, then what is happening? Your diaphragm moves upwards. As a result, see, and your chest cavity moves downward, and this volume what happens? It goes down, and pressure what happens? It increases. As a result, this air moves out from your lungs. This is how you breathe in and out. Fine. Any queries you can ask me, you can post me your questions on WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. Now look at this diagram where you can see here what is happening is your uh, now you can see here what is happening. These are your what? Air sacs, and you can see there is a network of blood vessels. Can you see? Arteries and veins both are there, isn't it? So there is a network of blood capillaries. They are richly supplied by your blood capillaries, isn't it? And they are very thin structures. You can see here they are single cell membraned structures, isn't it? Your capillaries are single cell structures, and even your air sacs, your alveoli are single celled. Okay, so both the membranes, you can see they are single celled, so the membrane becomes very your alveoli as well as your capillaries, they are made up of single celled, okay, membrane. Okay, so the membrane is very thin, and here what is happening, here is exchange of gases are taking place. Your capillaries are coming from your body, which is rich in CO2. Okay, that is your veins, you can see there, they are coming from your body, they are rich in CO2, and CO2 is moving out into your air sacs, and air sacs are containing oxygen from the air, they are moving into your these blood capillaries, and they are going via your arteries to your various parts of your body, isn't it? So ultimately, as I said you previously, that the exchange of gases is happening by which process? By the process of simple diffusion. So ultimate process is simple diffusion, but for that to happen, your respiratory system, it requires what? Circulatory system also. And where this exchange is happening, that surface is what? It has got a large surface area, thin membranous, they are richly supplied by your blood, and they are moist. Remember, these are the prerequisites for any membrane where exchange is happening. Exchange could be of any type. Even in case of your digestive system, you have seen where exchange is happening. There also we have seen that the membrane is thin, highly richly vascularized, large surface area, and moist. Fine. Thank you.